Hello, everyone. Can you hear the mucus in my throat making my voice deep? Anyway, Cynthia here for Guild Wars 1 stream. I wanted to try to get at least one in August. I've been busy with other things lately, but I've been thinking about, like... Oh, by the way, right now, I'm going to play more on the Monk. But I was looking at ye old wiki. It seems like T-Hark Orchard is the dealio today. Arbor Earth Call. Yeah, let's go get that too. I don't care about vanquishes right now. So I'm going to grab these because they're easy. Mostly is the reason. I don't have G-Top on this character yet. Excuse me. Might be coughing a little bit here, just as a warning. I don't have like a quick access mute button or anything like that, so I'm just gonna try to turn away and hopefully it's not too obnoxious. I've already got 3. What am I doing to myself? Excuse me. Jenner's Horde. Ruins of Sirmia. I'm gonna abandon Ruins of Sirmia for this one. York Orchard is just a little bit easier to be doing. But I've got some mucus irritating my throat, so I've got a bit of a cough. So, if that's something that is being disruptive to people, I can assure you that is not my objective. Oof, this character is not gotten very far, has she? I'm attempting to dislodge it, but I didn't want to wait to start the stream until I had, because then I wouldn't have started it, is my concern. So we're just going to go here. We're going to do stuff. That's going to be life. It'll be okay. T-Ark Orchard. And Arbor Earth Call, please. Thank you. But I hope everyone is doing well on this fine day where we remember that the next Guild Wars 2 expansion is going to be incoming, but not as incoming as Silksong, apparently. I was talking about it some with my sister. Of like, the wait for Silksong has felt like a marathon where suddenly you just turn a corner and the end is in sight. Like, you're practically tripping over the finish line. You know what? I don't know what I want her to be doing. So yeah, it has those sorts of vibes. So I'm looking forward to Silksong. I did record a playthrough of Hollow Knight for my YouTube channel back when I was attempting the concept of Let's Playing. It's a weird way of phrasing that, I suppose, but my point remains, I was attempting to do that. Oh, I have G-Top on this character. I actually have a print of that loading screen on my wall. But anyway, no, let's interact with this bounty. Grab it. Excuse me. Actually, I'm going to take her to Embark Beach before swapping, because that's kind of an annoying locale. Oh man, I can really feel this mucus being obnoxious. How do you... Weird. You have all these arenas, but you don't have Great Temple of Balthazar unlocked. Whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. I want GTOB on everybody eventually because it's convenient and helpful, but... not my number one concern to remember how you unlock Great Temple of Balthazar as a location you're allowed to go to. I mean, she has it, but... Well... Now, what? What do I have here? Looks like a bunch of Kaineng City quests to turn in. Georgium. Cathandrax. Excuse me. Okay, who wants to do the wilds? Not I say. I'm going to abandon that, and I'm going to abandon Ilsunder, which always sounded very Lord of the Rings to me. Okay. Now that I've officially gotten everyone except my monk quested up, it's time to go get my monk quested up, and then do Sanctum K. Why do you put me in the randomest of spots? Okay, is it just me? Or are these boards for this particular Elonian nodule more widely spread than they normally are? Yeah, like, see, they're much more closely positioned over here. Anyway, what I was saying was, regarding Silksong, was that, man, this mucus is obnoxious. What I was trying to say, anyway, regarding Silksong before I interrupted myself. But yeah, like, it definitely has the feeling of, oh, I was waiting for this. I was, like, running a marathon, and then suddenly the finish lines popped up in front of me. Not necessarily a bad thing, but, it's a little hard to sort of accept as true in some regards, if that makes sense. But, I did, like I said, record a playthrough. I'm not necessarily planning on doing that with Silksong, though. Nor am I planning on streaming. Like, so many people are going to be streaming it. I don't know, I'm a little torn. Part of me likes the idea of maybe being able to go back and see my first playthrough, but, like, have I watched that playthrough of Hollow Knight? No. So I'm probably just going to play it for myself. Not try to make content out of it. That's too low to get, too slow to get the Sindiri bonds off of there. Man, it feels good to have low skill recharges. Been doing a decent amount of Guild Wars 2 stuff lately. The, man, the Legendary Relic is too expensive. But that's a different complaint. Like, I don't know, this has been on my mind. Just like, the thing that I'm finding impressive about Guild Wars 2 is how I find it overall manages to be fun despite a series of what I think are very poor design decisions. I don't like their build system. There's just a lot of very, I don't know. I had a whole video comparing the build systems between Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2, and I think that video probably covers most of my thoughts. But you know, it's the sort of thing I think about the same things over and over again. Like, I don't know. Earlier/yesterday, I was just no, it was earlier today because I did some dailies this morning, and I was just making Lucent Crystal out of Lucent Motes because I'm trying to make the Legendary Relic, which is way too bloody expensive for something that is functionally a trait. It's... I could rant about that all day, but anyway, I was just sitting there, just watching the freaking progress bar as I was turning like 2,500 plus motes into crystal so I could get a stack of Lucent Crystal, basically. And just like, this isn't compelling gameplay. This doesn't make me feel like I'm crafting. This is just wasting everyone's time. It's just like, how much time has been wasted by the build system in Guild Wars 2, or the crafting system in Guild Wars 2, making everybody just sit around on watching timers. And just like, you know, I think about that sort of stuff sometimes, I guess. I would very much... I much prefer the crafting system in Guild Wars 1. Because it does what you need it to do and doesn't get in the way of itself. And, like, you make anything ascended in Guild Wars 2, and it's like, this crafting meter is unnecessarily long. Like, any sort of crafting meter, like, taking time to craft things is unnecessary, as far as I'm concerned. The only reason anything should take time to craft anything in video games is because you have designed a mini game that the player is engaging in order to craft the thing. And that, in my opinion, is the only reason or time anything should take time to craft stuff. Oh, well, unless there's some legitimate gameplay reason. If the crafting is happening in a real-time place where enemies could be attacking them, and you want the player to be under tension, right? They have to make a decision. Am I going to put myself at risk by entering a vulnerable state for a period of time while I'm trying to craft something? Or there's a chance that my crafting will be interrupted by enemies and thus I can't complete it. Things like that. Like, there's some legitimate gameplay things there, but like sitting at a crafting station in Guild Wars 2 watching a meter climb is not gameplay. And it is just wasting the player's time. That crafting system is so terrible. I don't mind how, like, many layers to things there are, though it feels a bit silly, and, like, it's just obfuscating things, but I don't mind that. As much. It's a bit ridiculous, and I think it creates a lot of problems. Like, so many recipes, like, in Guild Wars 2 are just around creating sinks for various types of crafting materials and currencies that they've introduced that are, like, they're not creating value long term, so they have to try to invent a way for them to create value. Okay. Ghost is still following us. That's good. And then there's a whole boon situation in Guild Wars 2. That's also a nightmare. That might need unpacking. So the problem with buffs in general in a game is that you either design your game around the presence of buff effects or debuff effects, in which case if you don't employ them, you'll be underpowered. It's actually a problem that you have in Guild Wars 1 as well, in an interesting sort of way. In particular, consets make things too easy, potentially, like if you're designing around consumables like that, but it applies to any sort of buff effect. The way that you're designing around the presence of something. And anyway, the Guild Wars 2 is like combat or whatever, is how much of it is are they balancing around people having full things of might and quickness and alacrity and etc., etc. I don't know. Too much of stuff is based around keeping boons maintained on the whole team. I think that going to generic boon system was interesting, but ultimately a poor long-term decision. I think the individual effects of Guild Wars 1 are better from a balance standpoint, and as well as creating a sense of individuality, even if effects are overlapping. Like Healing Breeze overlaps somewhat in effect with Troll Unguent, right? They both provide large amounts of HP regeneration, but anyway. Also, I'm going to be... This is kind of a weird thing to kind of talk about a little bit. I prefer the sort of way that bars slide in this game rather than the ticks of Guild Wars 2. But okay, we are getting really hammered by these... Guess because we have so many casters. By these dragons and their... Did I have a dead staff drop back there? No, I must have picked it up. Oh, I need to heal back. Well, he can hang out there for a moment. Okay, somebody else is getting him. HP bars in general were low. I don't know how long I'm planning to play today, by the way. Moody door over there. In other news, I've been enjoying Edge of Eternities, the magic set. It's been... It's definitely the sort of thing where I've felt a lot more positive about it once I finally got to play it and see the cards in person than the previews. It's also interesting in that Warp reminds me a lot of Evoke. It's more of an Evoke, a marriage between Evoke and Adventure than it is either one, but... Whatever, I just want that HP bar up. Man, I'm looking forward to getting Word of Healing. Doing the desert tour is going to be in pain, though. Oh, good. I forgot that I'd put Gift of Health on Sasuke. Yeah, so he has some healing and she has some healing, which definitely helps. I need this ghost to follow me up here.
A sight for...
I kind of need this dialogue to advance enough. I don't know why Milani's thing is showing up out there. Okay, now he's advanced. The Vizier has enabled him to rest. This bonus actually kind of makes the Vizier seem like a good guy. I mean, he certainly is masquerading as it, right? Excuse me. And he's masquerading that way well. I'll miss the energy regen that I got from holding the staff, but it's okay. Yeah, unfortunately, every time he summons something, they prove to be pretty weak. Oh, yeah, let's not stand there. Really? Savage shot at that? That's rude. Oh, that's what Rangers do, though. Could you imagine? That's like giving a quarter-second stun a 5-second recharge in Guild Wars 2, right? Like, there's no way. And the recharges in this game are just so much lower than in Guild Wars 2. It's like, this is a 3-second recharge, and sometimes it feels long in this game, and it's just... I really do think Guild Wars 2 is in a sour spot between an action game and this game. Because, like, Guild Wars 1 is, I would almost describe as a real-time tactics game. It's maybe a weird description of it, but that's the sort of gameplay it has, I feel. And Guild Wars 2 is trying to be more of an action game, but I feel like it doesn't go far enough. Because for an action game, you want your standard attacks to feel good to do. And auto-attacking in Guild Wars 2 is just a thing that happens. And you want it to feel more like... I mean, Souls games are the first thing that I think of, but I also think of, like, the Batman Arkham games, or another game that uses that system is the Middle-earth Shadow of games. And you definitely want, in my opinion, you want fewer skills and more intentionality with your basic actions. And trying to flood things with skills doesn't override the fact that your standard skills are actually just not implemented in a way that's engaging to use. The action cam helps a lot, but it only does so much. Good, I managed to stop myself from accidentally using a remove hex. There are times where it would be nice to be a mesmer or a ranger. And those times are when I see those elementalists casting spells and I can't interrupt them. Good old Kryta. I still am a little annoyed that they made Kryta into such a different climate and environment in Guild Wars 2. Places change, but did they change that much? I don't know. It's like, if you were to look at old... They don't have photographs of it, but if you were to look at old paintings of the United States of America from its, you know, quote, founding, unquote. That is a little bit messier, but, you know, Declaration of Independence will be the signing of that will be 250 years starting next year, right? It'll be the anniversary. Should be a big deal. Don't like the person who's going to be presiding over that particular event, but that was not my decision to make. I mean, I contributed to the decision making, I guess, technically, but did not go the way I wanted. Regardless, that is not the point here. The point is this restless spirit can finally get peace and give me the bonus, but also that, like, how much did things change in various areas climate-wise? It's an interesting question. And, like, how much... Because there's been a lot of deforestation, reforestation, that sort of thing. People cutting down trees and growing them. I suspect this coast might be an area where my character going for Guam that I've, like, sat on, and I basically have, like, cartography and the consumption titles left. By which I mean, I think I finished Party Animal. I need Sweet Tooth and Alehound, but the cartography is also 4 titles I need. And I think that corner over there might be an area where I might have space to get on him. I need to set up UMod so that way I can get the thing, like, checked, but I just have not bothered. What did I get here? Minor Fire and Knights. Oh. Minor Elementalist runes don't tend to be the most exciting. However, Minor Fire could theoretically be useful on a Water Mage. Oh, I unlocked it. Nice. I'll probably stick that in the bank. It saves me money to get it there. Knights may or may not be worth something as well, but... Yeah, why are my heroes in such a scrambled order? Ah, whatever. It doesn't matter. Good interrupt on the Savant. Target's an ally. Probably one of my own allies rather than one of their allies. Those ones are really awkwardly worded. I remember using them. Using the one that prevents them from targeting spells on enemies when farming the bots in HA. Wonder if they've resolved how many bots are there. I don't know. It's definitely good for my... Well, I can't look at it on this account because I don't... This account has nothing done, but... ooh, 13 whole treasure chests. I'm surprised it's that many. 26 on the wisdom title track. I don't really expect to get Survivor anytime soon. Let's not stand there. That's gonna be done soon, right? There it goes. Hurry, we must make our escape. Or whatever. Hurry, we must make our escape. It's kind of an interesting way of rolling his R's a little bit. You done? Okay.
On the boat. Hurry. We must make our escape.
Yeah. See? That line. That's the line I was quoting. Okay, we've made it to the Amnoon Oasis. And everybody rejoiced at the Amnoon Oasis. Oh, man. I brought some Elonian mirrors to Ilona. Kind of. Parts of Ilona. Okay. I need to salvage things down on account of need materials, need materials, need materials. Okay. Apparently, some stuff needs a little bit of identification as well. Highly salvageable. Actually, I kind of like that. Tengu slang. What a specific thing. I'm not going to worry about that right now. These should probably be some cloth. Cool. Cool and good. And where's the Shunlai? Over here. Oh, man. I love this right here, by the way. Yeah, I'll do that in a moment. Like, just the boat masts silhouetted against the sun. It's so pretty. Anyway, I brought my bank up, so now I can put bones away. Oh, right. This account is not one that I accidentally bought a material storage for. I did that with my main account. I accidentally purchased a material storage increase. So my stacks go to 500 in that. I intentionally did it with my Guild Wars 2 account, incidentally, but neither here nor there. Yeah, look at this big gap of the Maguma jungle. Let's see. Divinity Coast. This is what, like... Yes, this is Riverside Province. Aurora Glade, Bloodstone Fen, the Wilds. Then we've got the 3 desert missions. I don't know what order they put them in between Thirsty Dunes and... I know this. Ilona Reach. And then Augury Rock, Dragon's Lair, Ice Caves, Iron Mines, Muldoon, Thunderhead Keep, Ring of Fire. Some good elites to capture there. Abaddon's Mouth, and Hell something. Hell's Precipice, maybe? I don't know. I feel like I should know that, but it's been a while since I've been in those areas, so... I think I got them right. I mean, I know the missions. It's just sometimes names are harder to remember than you'd expect. It's like you know all the things, but you don't remember the names. I don't know if I'll do this quest or not. I'm gonna grab it, but I don't know if I'll do it. Okay, this is really annoying me. Koss, Gwen, Sasuke, Vec, Milani. There, that's better. This guy has all sorts of cool lore, by the way. Talks about being Tari Asa, and at the Battle of Jahai, I single-handedly defeated Palawa Joker, the Scourge of Vabi. It was I who led the Elonians to the Crystal Desert. There have been 2 other groups since the Elonians that have attempted to ascend. Perished along with the rest of my people, trying to build a temple of the old gods. We foolishly thought that we were the ones in the Flamestick prophecies, the ones who would rise to be led into the hall. Fate is a cruel master, and it is I who have become the guide. What do you know of the prophecies? I know that those who are proven worthy will help me open the way into the rift. I know that those who ascend are destined for greatness, and I know that it will be I who leads them through the treacherous afterlife to the top of the Hall of Heroes. He's the ghostly hero in HA. But if you wish to know more, then you should ask the one who had the premonitions, the prophet still lives. Indeed, her name is Lint, and she's quite old, even for a dragon. A dragon? Yes, she was the first of all creatures on Tyria, created by the gods to be the caretaker. This has obviously been retconned like crazy. But it became clear that she needed help. That is when they summoned the creatures known now only as the Forgotten. So, like, all of this entire text box has been completely retconned by Guild Wars 2 at this point in time. Which is fine. Like, he can be an unreliable narrator. I have no problem with that. They resemble great snakes, but they move upright, use magic, and fight with forged weapons. They were brought here to watch over Tyria while the gods completed their creation, but the serpentine creatures... Like, at this point, we know that Tyria was made by Suwan, and the elderest of dragons, right? But, like, spoilers, I guess. Or at least she was instrumental in its creation. It sounded like she made it. And then the elder dragons, like, helps hold things together and filter magic and everything. And then the gods kind of stumbled upon this place and mucked about with stuff like that to some extent. Had gotten, I don't even know. But, like, Trios is functioning as a very unreliable narrator here. Yeah. And then Glint is in the Crystal Desert. Yeah, a lot of really good lore on this. I highly recommend. But like I said, a lot of it's been retconned at this point. And like I also said, I don't have a problem with that, but it's it does make him an extremely unreliable narrator. So why do I have 2 copies of Astral Pillar? Whatever, it doesn't matter. I probably had some other weapon there that I kind of dropped at some point. Why do I have Earth Karambits as well? They're max, but that's about all you can say about them. They don't have an inscription slot or anything. I guess I might want Earth Daggers for my Ashashin at some point. In order to... Man, these guys are annoying. But I probably will want them at some point in time in order to be able to use them with... Oh, yeah, I can't target myself. The Dervish skill, Ebon Dust Aura. Which is the main reason why I would care about earth damage. Man, that used to be so cool when it blinded on attack skills. And worked with bows. Spears too, probably. I mean, there's a reason they changed it. It was arguably kind of overpowered, but it was very cool. Man, monkeying is such a, like, vegging job in some regards. I'm just sitting here making bars go up. I mean, if you're really doing a good job, you're paying a lot more attention to the battlefield. I am not paying much attention to the battlefield. I'm just wandering. Triggering these pop-up groups, I guess. What's going on with Vec? Oh, it's just such a tiny amount of healthy gen. I barely even noticed its effect. Lonnie is getting wrecked over there. Probably walking into a dust trap. I should be using more Signal of Rejuvenation than I am. Because it's free. I own a 60 AL, yeah. I've got a good hat. I got a good hat. I do want to capture Peace and Harmony at some point in time, but we'll probably not be doing that today. I remember trying to make the old version of that skill work, and it was not good. It was like +1 energy regen for 2 minutes, but it fails, or like it ends if you like attack an enemy, functionally. Like if you do anything that targets an enemy. Like I said, it was not very good. The new version for relative definitions of the word new. The version that we've had for most of the game's lifespan. It's really weird to think that way, but... I know, it's the truth. Is... Because... I'd have been like... I don't know, 2012, so 7 years when Guild Wars 2 came out, and skill changes, like all skill changes kind of ceased around that time. Is Wayfarer's Reverie going on right now? I might accidentally be engaging in that. That's something to think about. Isn't that... That's probably... I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I haven't seen any marks drop, so it's probably not started just yet. Also, this account still isn't in a position to be able to do it. I don't know how the heck I was paying attention enough to that to push those buttons right. Ugh. Hope you VOD watchers are doing well, by the way. Do appreciate the people who watch the VODs. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Enjoying my rambles. Also the lurkers. Y'all are kind of similar in that regard. Have been thinking some about some of what I'm wanting to accomplish. And I've been working on my own music, so I wrote my own music playing program a while back, years and years ago. But I made some decisions with how I was saving data that I have come to consider poor choices. And so I have been wanting to... There's some other features as well that I wanted, but I've been wanting to kind of modify how I was doing stuff. So I've been working on a... like, I started a new music playing program, and then I kind of hadn't done anything, and I've finally started working on it again. Well, that was weird timing. That was a great time to have a warrior's defensive stance, but I am not a warrior. Anyway, so I've been working on that, and like once I get that new version up and going, and it's getting close, frankly. There's still some functionality I need. I need playlists to be fully featured and some other stuff, but once I have that stuff done, I will want to probably stream a bit more often, is my feeling, because I want to finish this playthrough, or this endeavor, kind of free up this account from under the restrictions that I've placed it. And then I want to move on to streaming a playthrough of Middle-earth: Shadow of War. Because I tried doing one years ago, but then the computer at the time's graphics card died, and then I got this computer, and then it's been a while since then. Hey, Dead on Stick. Yeah, it's great to see you drop by. So I do want to kind of do a bit more. And then, so like, at this point in time, stream playthroughs that I want to do is I want to do this Unlock All Skills thing that I'm in the middle of. I want to stream a playthrough of Middle-earth: Shadow of War. And I want to stream a playthrough of Guild Wars 2 where, like, playing through the story, where I have the mini-map turned off. Because, and I've talked about this before, but Guild Wars 2 has this weird problem where it teaches you to navigate the world through the mini-map. And that means you're not paying attention to the environment and you're not learning the maps. And so I figured doing a playthrough where I'm not using the mini-map would be a really interesting thing to try. So I want to try that also. So those are like future plans that I have rattling around in my head, but Fenster the Golden. Don't you give like armor? Yeah. This is interesting. It cannot be upgraded with insignia because it didn't originally have insignia. Insignia, like as a concept, were introduced in Nightfall. And yeah, give me your quest. Not that those are great skills, but in factions, what you'd basically do is you'd go up to an armor crafter and they'd be like, here is this armor with all possible insignias it could have. And then here's this skin with all of its possible insignias. In Prophecies, it was like, well, here is this armor and it has this particular insignia. And so like your skins and insignia were linked, which honestly was kind of cool from the standpoint of being able to tell what effects somebody's armor had just by looking at them. But that also is poor for the customization that they're wanting to enable, so they got rid of that. Which was probably long-term the right decision, but I don't begrudge it. I'm getting a lot of iron here. Okay, sight on. Appropriate merchant name. Chillblains and Zealot's Fire. Well, Chillblains is a pain in the butt skill. Let's go ahead and go this way. There's other things to do here too. But anyway, where was I? Yeah, so once they introduced insignia, they consolidated that stuff down a bunch. But these are the Elonian mirrors for a Kainang City quest, where the Celestial Ministry is like, I know what'll help the poor, giving them fancy mirrors imported from Elona. And then you give them to the poor, and they're like, what am I supposed to do with a mirror? The Celestial Ministry has no understanding of what our needs are. Which is true. But, you know. So I'm supposed to hand out 3 of them, and I just haven't yet. Ow. I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to Word of Healing. No, it's just a base quest. Has nothing to do with this. None of my characters have beaten any of the campaigns yet, I don't think. Maybe I've beaten Prophecies on my warrior. But that's the closest. I have not beaten factions on this account yet. So don't have, and that's Winds of Change as well, is what you're thinking of. What's War and Credit and Winds of Change, but I know what you're talking about. Man, that 1/2 meteor. Oof. Man, that hurts so much. But no, it's just a base quest. If you have not done all of the quests in Kainang City, I would be not surprised in the least. There are so many quests in Kainang City. There's just some random one tucked out somewhere. Which one is it? Luxury Goods from Officer Chitaro and the Wajin Bazaar. Oh yeah. I mean, if I was just talking in Amnoon Oasis, you talk to the ghost of Tarai Asa, and he talks about being Tarai Asa, the one who defeated Palawajoko, the Scourge of Abi, and all of that. And then he goes on and says something that Glint was the first creature made by the gods after the creation of the planet and stuff. That stuff, like, his lore is deeply wrong, but, you know. Okay, well, you guys enjoy talking about whatever. I still need to turn this quest in. Guardsman Tang. Yeah, I mean, retcon just means that characters are an unreliable narrator. when it's... At least that's one way that it can be done. That's one interpretation. This is the person that you heard from originally. Okay. I want to continue up this way because I want to go get my butt kicked by more hydras. I mean, I want to go... I want to keep running to make it harder for them to hit me with death. Part of it right now is my armor's low. That doesn't help. But yeah, Guild Wars 2 retcons a ton of Guild Wars 1 lore. How have you been doing, Dead on Stick? Been watching any of the Gamescom stuff? Skirting around hydras because they are terrifying. Oh. Well, I'm glad things are doing better. Okay. Good job, other people who have healing skills. Ooh, that sounds brutal. Yeah, hard drive failure stuff is not good times. It's very bad times. Oh, wow. That's rough. I've been hearing about some sort of bug with the Windows updates that have been making issues saving large files to SSDs. I don't know. Yeah, that's rough. I don't know what all of the implications are with that bug, but I've been hearing about that. I hope Microsoft... Yeah, I hope Microsoft figures out what's going on. It sounds like it makes it disappear from, like, things, but if you reboot, that it can find it or something. That's what it was sounding like from the Forbes article I was reading about it. There was another problem too. Well, that was unfortunate timing. There's another problem with something too that is gonna hurt. Ouch. That doesn't affect the version of Windows that I have, but well, hopefully they figure out how to fix it and get it repaired. I heard that what happened is that the bug got introduced and then a big update to Cyberpunk 2077 caused it to, like, appear in a bunch of people's machines, like, all at once. I might go straight to Thirsty. Okay, you know what? We're gonna stand here dancing until everybody's in better condition. Okay, that's good enough. I do want to try teaching my sister some about programming. She's been doing UAT. Well, she says UAT testing, which I think is a redundancy of terms, but I think it would help her for communicating with the developer team or development team to actually know something about programming. So I think it would be good to teach her some about programming. Probably kind of fun too. Vec, you are bleeding for a very long time, sir. Purple dye. Excellent. I have to kind of figure out what dice schemes I'm going to do with these characters once I finally get them actual armor that they'll actually wear. And not this, like, 45 AL holdovers. I have no idea what to do with my subscriber icon once it gets past, I guess this is a 9-month one. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's, honestly, I think students, like kids going through school, students, should all have some amount of computer science education. Because we're just surrounded by the technology so much. I think it's really important for people to understand how it actually works. Just like some of the basic concepts of things being stored in memory and just simple programming, even like it's just like simple programming stuff. It doesn't have to be like trying to get super complicated, or like you don't have to teach somebody how to do network programming. But just having kind of a working knowledge of being able to do something, just so that way people have more ability to understand what's going on with technology and how it actually works. And how computers actually function and stuff. Okay, so the real question is, do I want to get to Thirsty from here, or do I want to go south? I think I'll just go from here. Because even having like terminology, I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't know how proprietary things are, or like how much things shouldn't be talked about. But I gave her language of talking about a string comparison, and for how to do a particular thing. I basically was like, here is the programmatic instructions using programmatic language of like a string comparison in order to determine if something has changed here or whatever. And that apparently enabled the development team to understand what was actually being requested of them. Especially since the development team is not native English speaking. And so like there's a language barrier there. Putting things in more programmatic, like programmer language, I think really helped with them understanding what was trying to be done. For those who don't know, strings are what you hold words in. And comparing strings would be determining if strings are the same or not, and if they're not, which alphabetical order they go in. Which, let me tell you, I was doing a bunch of alphabetizing myself recently. I was putting magic cards away, and I have boxes that I store them in. Yeah, I mean, it depends upon how fluent they are, right? And I didn't get the impression these people were particularly fluent. You definitely are much more fluent. But the point is made well, as well made. It's been so long. Yeah, I got back into Magic with the release of the Lord of the Rings set, like, is that 2 years ago now? I think, something like that. So I've been drafting Magic regularly, and that it slowly accumulates cards, and then I was putting cards away in boxes and alphabetizing them so that way I could find them later. And it's like surprisingly mentally exhausting to just alphabetize a bunch of things and then sort them into things alphabetically. I miss farming these guys. I don't know that I'd actually have liked it long term, but like I got to do it for such a brief window before the farm area was removed. But yeah, I've been enjoying Edge of Eternities. I have mixed feelings about Universes Beyond. The Final Fantasy set was cool. I am less excited about Spider-Man. That's fair. I'm not organizing them by set. I'm organizing. So my organization method divides things up into this is for stuff that goes in my long-term storage boxes. So things that I'm less likely to be playing anytime soon. I'm trying to remember how I navigate through here. But I have, so the cards that go in those boxes are sorted by instant, sorcery, and then I have like an enchantment / artifact category. And then they're alphabetized within those. And then I also have them sorted, the creatures are sorted by mana value and then alphabetically within mana value. So, for example, I have the 1-drops, 2-drops, 3-drops, etc. And that is the method that I have been using. But it does mean that I'm doing a lot of alphabetizing as I'm putting cards in their various categories. Doing a lot of, okay, where is R in relation to O? Where is, G? Yeah, it makes it, if I look up a card and I'm like, oh, I have that card, and I know, oh, that's a card I would have put in the boxes, then I can find it way more easily. But it is a massive pain in the rear end. Like, it makes lookup faster, but put away way slower. Right, because I'm having to maintain it. Wow, sores covering their body have begun to ooze yellow fluid, and the fever keeps me unconscious much of the time. Children come and go, spooning weak broth into me as though it might do some good, but we all know that my time is near. The quill shakes in my hand, and the words swim on the parchment before me. I expect this will be my last entry. Who will look after my family when I am gone? Yeah, the problem is I would probably need to be sorting things by set instead of by... And everything is, of course, sorted by color. Instead of by alphabetic, or like instead of by the other sort of overarching thing I'm doing. Definitely, we are more used to comparing numbers than we are to comparing the alphabet. But I'm not going to change my whole organizational method at this point. But I recently went through all of my binders because I keep some magic cards in binders, and those are the ones that I'm more likely to play. / I was keeping rares in there as well, but some rares like Mudhole do not really deserve like a spot for the cards that I am most likely to be considering playing. So I recently got a new box to put the like things that I maybe want, like cast off rares, and I am low on energy because I'm not using my Signet of Rejuvenation like I should. So I recently went through my binders and pulled a bunch of cards out to go into that box. Okay, I wanted the lower path. So that freed up a bunch of space in my binders, which was good, because then I'm no longer giving space to Mudhole. I'm using Mudhole as an example, and it was legitimately one of the cards, but it is such a terrible rare. Can I get down over here? I can. Excellent. Haha. Oh, I didn't start attacking early enough to get that one. Do I have any cap 6? Okay, I have 6. I'm good. I don't know why I have 6, but I'm happy. Also, Gatherer got a revamp, like, within the last several months. And I don't know what I think about it, but it is definitely different. Yeah, I mean, it's different than the one than it used to be for years and years. So I don't know when. I don't remember when they changed it. Time is hard to keep track of unless you have really good markers like being a student gives you. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I knew that was coming. These guys are a right pain in the rear end. Okay, I want to recover some energy. Yeah, yeah, super different, isn't it? It really threw me off at first. Okay. I started in '07, so that was about the release of Lorwyn. Time Star Block had just come out, and before that was OG Ravnica, the first Ravnica block. So I was doing a lot of those. But I've been in and out since then. I'm really excited that we're going back to Lorwyn. But I also, at this point, like, really want to go back to Alara, which is another... That was the block after the Lorwyn Shadowmoor. Mega... I don't know what you want to call that. Too many blocks. And I really want to go back to Alara. But I'm very happy we're going back to Lorwyn. How do you feel about the universes beyond? I know they're kind of divisive. Yeah. I miss the block structure. I can understand why they got away from it, and it had problems. So I think there's a little bit of rose-tinted glasses action going on when people talk about blocks sometimes. Okay, I didn't need to do that then. I should maybe heal some of these other guys too. But blocks were neat in the sense of sometimes giving more space to a setting and more time to flesh it out felt good. Like, for example, if they'd done blocks with Ether Drift, they could have spread it out into different segments of the race. You generally dislike UB if you're inevitably going to be a second reserved list. Yeah, that's definitely a concern. I can definitely see a concern about it being a second reserved list. People have been talking really positively about the story for Edge of Eternities. Not that I've been keeping track of Magic lore all that much. Like, in general. I've been enjoying EOE. I've done a couple of drafts of it now at my local game store. And been having fun with it. I do feel like there's this weird thing that's been happening. Blue Burrow was fun. This weird thing that's been happening where they like have cards that they're previewing, and I don't like the like alternate treatment that they've given it, and then I see it in person. I'm like, oh, that actually looks good in person. Like the printing actually looks good, but for some reason the preview just, I guess, is like too low resolution or something. I'm not sure, but just doesn't look as good. But yeah, I enjoyed Bloomborough. That was like a year ago now, wasn't it? I know Mark Rosewater recently had his State of Design article where he was talking about some of the stuff. And one of the things that he said that didn't land well from Duskmourn was some of the more modern, like, real-world stuff. And I think that kind of hits the nail on the head with a problem that I have with some of the universes beyond as well. Like, Spider-Man feels too much like our world, and I don't like that. So I feel better about universes beyond that are more different. I do hope they avoid going the route of Lego, where it's like 70% universes beyond, 30% universes within. But yeah, I definitely think your concerns about a second reserve list is a really good point, and I do hope that they have ways of being able to make reprints from universes beyond products. And it's really awkward if their solution is making a universes within version as well, because then you run into the like some of them, like Orcish Bowmasters, they could do like just keep the name and everything, just, you know, style it differently. But some of them would be real awkward. But like you basically don't want it to be two versions, right? Where like, oh, in Eternal formats you want to play both. Like that's not a good solution. Sure, sure. Interesting. Okay. When should I be using West Salvage Kit, I wonder? Alright, I want to merchant these two things. Kinsley. Man, I don't know if I've ever seen a car like that. I've heard my parents talk about cars like that, but I don't think I've seen it. I do want another expert kit at some point, but it's not important enough to grab now. Large volumetric hair. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but okay. Thirsty River time. Yeah, okay. I don't need to order the vampire on this character. Honestly, it would be kind of interesting if some elements of those times came back, but I don't know. I guess we have some elements of those times, one could say, in a negative sort of sense, with politics, but oh well. I prefer not to dwell on it too much because it's depressing. Okay, okay, Koss, stop getting yourself absolutely curb stomped by standing in traps. Thank you. Well, we'll just blitz through that fire, I guess. Now I'm trying to decide if I would consider like a Lego set that is a recreation of Van Gogh Starry Night, or an architectural building, if that's the functional equivalent of Universes Beyond or not. And I feel like this Lego set is a bouquet of flowers. While neat, doesn't feel like what I think of as like a Lego set, if that makes sense. Wow, they killed him before Giant Stomping off. That's nice. Stupid plants that are everywhere. This is some sort of aloe-like succulent, right? Yeah, I have no idea how WoW does its armor. Friggin' one of my big problems with Guild Wars 2 is that its whole defense, like its attribute system, is so infuriatingly implemented. Oh, gotcha. Let me fight the Mesmer. Gotta claim that resource. Yeah, I never played WoW. I played Warcraft 3 a bunch. And then I was interested in World of Warcraft, and then I learned it had a subscription fee, and I was no longer interested in World of Warcraft. I heard about Guild Wars from people in the StarCraft modding community that I was in. Guy was talking about kind of his reactions with the Searing. I still remember the Google Talk chat a little bit, where he was telling me about it, back when Google Talk was a thing. And remember Google Talk, remember Google Plus? Interesting. What's better about WoW's cooperative group content? I am curious. I mean, I also remember Google Video back before they bought YouTube, so I remember it being a competitor. Garbage quality too. That was, to some extent, was the times. It was like YouTube, Google Video, Rever, Blip, Blip.tv. All. I mean, I honestly don't really recall. I didn't use YouTube back when it first came out. I was too busy hanging out on Newgrounds where everybody was complaining about their videos being ripped and put onto YouTube, so. Vac, would you stop tanking? Please. Yeah, there was a bunch of, like, early music videos and stuff. Like, fan-made, like, some of the Guild Wars music videos and things that were put on YouTube back in those days. But yeah, Flash, like, Newgrounds, HomestarRunner.com, those were the sites I tended to hang out on more in those days. I'm gonna pick up this gold. Man, I remember being a big fan of the Madness animations back then. Oh, I'm sure. Plus you had the text at the top that was like Hypercam or Bandicam or whatever. Whatever the recording software was, where they didn't get the version that didn't have watermark. Remember Fraps? Man. Wonder what happened to Fraps. Yeah. Man, we really shot through those guys super quickly. I don't know that Fraps compressed the recordings it made, did it? But yeah. I was curious about the WoW's co-op content. I get through these guys in the next minute and a half. That doesn't seem like it'll be a problem. Hey, Salty Grease. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. I'm on a quest to get Word of Healing. Isn't it like midnight plus in Europe right now? There's a 10 or 25 man endeavors. Rolls are either tank, healer, or DPS. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. I mean, it was setting, well, not setting, but firming up a lot of the ancient formulas. Let's see. Holgar, I probably want to go over there next for Josso Escher. Oh my goodness. Wow, I just got eaten alive. I mean, that's okay. I'm sure this will still go fine, but... Let's see. Best thing, however, is that boss have unique tactics. Oh, sure. Yeah, Guild Wars 1 bosses in particular tend to be pretty weak. Like, the most complicated boss is like Abaddon, maybe? Maybe like Malix. But yeah, boss design in Guild Wars 1 is pretty weak. Yeah. The sort of stuff that they talk about, because I haven't played a lot of those sorts of MMOs, but that makes me think of the sort of stuff they talk about in some of the anime like Log Horizon that are, or Shangri-La Frontier, or I maxed out my defense because I don't want to feel pain or whatever that one was called. I enjoyed that one. I enjoyed Log Horizon too. I was happy to see that there had been another season since the last time I had watched it like bajillion years ago. Okay. Try to kill them slowly. Okay, now try to kill them quickly. Yeah. I've watched a bit of Sword Art Online. I kind of want to watch more, but I've been forgetting about it, and there's a lot of that one. Man, it's going to feel so good to capture from this boss. Is everybody in here contributing? Okay, I'm just gonna flag them all over there so that way they can hopefully be hitting that appropriately. Word of Healing, get in my... Get out of here. Orson, nobody likes you. Oh man, that feels so good. I've enjoyed all of Log Horizon that I've watched, but that's definitely going to be your mileage will vary. Everybody has different tastes. You'll be fine, dude. Okay, let's go. No, you can finish off the Arcanist, please. Okay, my casters are in here, which is good. Like, one of the nice things about Word of Healing is it actually can heal me for a good amount of health. Yeah, yeah. You'll see them. The warrior, 3 pips of energy regen already. Oh.
Under the scrutiny of the gods.
Okay. I finally have an elite skill. Magnificent. I'm gonna put healing seed on over here. You just kind of have to balance how many you bring, is my experience. There you go, salty grease. Chillblains. Thank you for the chillblains. That was what, Zealot's Fire? Yeah. I still find it funny that my favorite Guild Wars 2 warrior healing skill is mending. Because it like removes a bajillion conditions and has a short recharge, so it's nice. But it amuses me that they're like, oh, gotta do the mending thing. Warriors with mending. Ho ho ho. Yep. Okay. Do I just go hit up dunes now? Well, either way, I'm going that direction, right? I could go to Ilona Reach, but probably I'm going to go around after getting this outpost whose name I always forget in the middle of the salt flats. And then I see it again and I'm like, oh yeah, that one. That was what it was called. Not sure how long I'm planning on streaming today. I've been streaming about an hour and a half now. Green hair. I think that's the same hair I have on my Necro on this account. Hey, Augury Rock. And Norn hangs out here later in the future. Ascension is a weird thing. And the Gift of True Sight and all that. It would have been really, really funny if we had... Do they have anything? Man, it's been so long since I played, was it Living World Season 3 with Lazarus the Dyer? But, it would have been really funny if his garden was like, oh, we're dealing with a bunch of Spectral Agony stuff. Well, if you go and get some Eidolon Guts, I can help improve, I can infuse your armor against it. Wait, that's me. I'm gonna go get Hero's Audience, I think. Man, could you imagine if you could get a Rockshot Pet Devourer in Guild Wars 2 and have it lay dust traps for you? And use a Sunbreak skill? Or a stun, not Sunbreak, the opposite of that. A stun skill. Whatever it need to be. Daze, stun. I don't fully remember the difference between daze and stun. Okay, these Hydra are a problem though. For realsies. I remember there was tech that people did for their healers of having a having the 50% lines and health bars. Do I want to take that teleporter? You know what? I never do. Let's do it. Let's be adventurous. We're going on an adventure. These nice Elonian pillars with their glowing, mysterious script on them. What does this mean? Who knows? Not I say. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. I'm going to want to go south from here, roughly. Here, Koss. Enjoy this. Okay, well, that maybe didn't work because he ceased to be taking damage the instant I put healing seed on him, but the thought was there. And I need to remember I can cast this like Word of Healing and not like Orson of Healing. Oh, did you see that health bar move? Oh, that felt good. That felt good. Have that health bar move. How long do I think it would take to get to Drox? It's kind of where I want to get this character's up to Drox. And then I need to see how many materials I'm going to need for the armor set that I want. I suspect I'm going to need a lot of parchment. Yeah, it's one of the best design skills. It's such a good design. I found Minotaur Alley. Charge allowed us to break aggro there. It's very useful. Okay, hopefully there's a way down to where I'm wanting to go. There's a bunch of sand dunes in the way. Is sand considered rough terrain in Dungeons and Dragons? Because it absolutely should be. Like dry sand. Good. Stuff is obnoxious to try to move across. Oh. Lucid Jewel Stone. That's kind of a cool name for a boss. Yeah, that's true. But if you have a bunch of, like, loose dry sand around, it is really annoying to walk across, so... Ho ho! We have a fight in front of us. Who will win? Sandworm or this boss and its lackeys? Yeah, if it's just a layer of sand over, like, a stone or something, it's no problem, but... Maybe a little slippery, potentially. Ah, gotcha. It has been ages since I've been in Florida. It looks like the sandworm is winning, by the way. I've been in Florida specifically to theme parks when I was a kid, but I haven't been since... I haven't been in any Disney theme parks or anything since becoming an adult. It has been absolute ages. It's not looking good for this boss here. It's looking really, really bad for Lucid Jewel Stone. Yep, nope. The worm won. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Worms are so tanky. And if you don't have healing, good luck. You know what I mean? Oh, that is a lot of sand elementals. This is going to be obnoxious because they have shock. This is a spot where it'd be really nice to have can't touch this. Yeah, I know you have shock after shock. Congratulations, you're literally the names of the skills. Ow. Wow, I couldn't even get up. So that was rough. I mean, it's okay if we wipe, we'll just end up at a res spot, but... Taking less damage because I have armor from Watch Yourself, which is nice. Go costs. Doing your job. I do want to pick up that smiting rod, but it is a little off to the side. There's Hero's Audience. You can identify the entrance to Hero's Audience by the massive legs next to it. That was a good word of healing. Somebody kill this stupid devourer. Okay, thank you. Hopefully I'm not making anybody dizzy with my wild camera swings. Winfield Michelson. Okay, hello. Hero's Audience. Yort the Bronze only has a quest for Prophecy's characters for a reason. Reason unstated. But a reason, I'm sure. Wow, that is a very bad smiting rod. Are you bone or scale? Your scales. Excellent. I feel like a genius for salvaging that now. How's my granite supply? It could be better. This might be dust. Dust also is not bad. Okay, it is granite. This is bone. I don't need more bone at the moment. I don't know. What are we looking at, guys? Yeah. By the way, warrior, ranger, elementalist, and monk. Unfortunately, Claude and Dunham don't have any representation on that sign, but that's okay. They're still here. Okay, I don't feel like running all the way over to Hedda, so we're not going to. Oh yeah, Koss has Condi removal in the form of purge conditions. Neat. He also has condition removal in the form of charge, because that removes the condition of crippled. Okay. Ignore it, ignore it, ignore it. Okay, let's not ignore these and get ourselves killed. I might just... Let's see, right now I'm going to Dunes. Which is over this way. And Vulture Drifts, which is a very evocative name. Thank you for being a distraction, guys. Look at that. Worm fighting random enemies. Excellent. Mash that charge. Mash it like there's no tomorrow. Oh man, it feels so good to have Word of Healing. actually be able to heal people when they're low on health without spending a bajillion energy. I don't want to hang around here. Okay, good. Milani lived. Ow. Well, I certainly don't regret the decision to put Word of Healing on myself. Or Word of Healing Breeze. I know what I meant and I didn't say it. Oh man, I love the Crystal Desert maps though. There's something about them that I really like. I just like how much variety is in Prophecies, just in the environments. Factions does a decent job with it, but it doesn't have as many environments. Doesn't spread them around as much. So you have the Xingje, you have Kaineng City. You have the Echovold Forest and the Jade Sea, which is like 4 versus pre and post Searing Ascalon, Kryda, Maguma Jungle, Crystal Desert, Shiver Peaks, and Ring of Fire. It's not like hugely different, but like you're not encouraged to explore the environments as much due to the design of factions, which I think was a problem. I've talked about that before too, though. But we criticize it because we love it and we think it could be even better. Okay, let's go get this crusty lodestone. What are good things to be crusty? It's a good type of crusty, like the edge of some pie or something. Well, Healing Breeze did his best. But was a little bit outmatched there. Go forth and intercept. Oh, that was a good interrupt. I need to go down this way. Oh, man. I'm just enjoying looking out at the game world. Desert Griffins, always like seeing these guys, just because it makes me think of that farm that I was mentioning earlier. Best way to get somebody stopping attack is to put Healing Seed on them, apparently. Okay. I don't feel like doing dunes today, but I do kind of like the idea. Hey, Paint 2D. Thank you for reading. Hope you're doing well. What were you up to? I think I'm going to finish getting Outposts in the Desert today. Ah, yeah. I realized I still want to try out Guardian for that, at least. Get a feel for that. If that is. I checked out... Sasuke, what's going on over there? I checked out Ritualist and Ranger, Gale Shot. Because I was curious about how that bow would feel. I kind of realized, wait, I want to know how the Guardian one feels as well. I don't know if I'm going to try out all of them during this beta. No, we don't need to grab the teleporty Teleporter switch. Just yet. Okay. Let's see. Okay. The amalgam, I think they called it. Let's not rush here. I definitely like the idea of having sort of a profession mechanic alt, I guess, that you customize with your utility skills for it. And I mean, it's the toolbar stuff, but that definitely seems like an interesting design. I'm interested in the Elementalist one a bit too, but I heard people in the chat saying that the Elementalist F5 was currently disabled because of bugs. It's a good thing they're doing this beta. That's for sure. Oh man. That's the Crystal Desert music. I think this is the same track that they play at the ends of Runes of Sirmia. I'd have to double check that though. Actually, I do want to salvage this lodestone. Okay. So they got it working for the Ellie. I liked... Somebody was making the suggestion during the Elementalist preview stream with that... I don't know if it's still in there, but the Grandmaster trait that, like, has you be one element and then does some sort of buff thingy to it, that they'd like that to enable weapon switching for Elementalists, and that would be amazing. I would be so happy if they did that. I want to go this way. Oh yeah, Marchena, I can now tell you about all these dead Minotaurs. This person has been standing there this whole time. I don't really want Malaise. Blessed Aura is not my idea of this great skill, but... Malaise is one of those skills that, like, is a very mild pressure skill for PvP. Probably was decent in Hexway, because it has a pretty low recharge, if I recall correctly. I guess I could check. What was its recharge? Yeah, 2 seconds. 2-second cast time, though, is kind of long. Okay, could we not stand in the... Oh. D-shotted my healing, my Heaven's Delight. That's rude. Really didn't need to do that because we just regen in a moment anyway, but I did. Okay, where's the findings on Ancient Secrets? That's the one. Hello, Marrow Scarab. Rockshot Devourers. Let's see. I think I need to take the teleporter across because it's down into the water to get Yortz's ceremonial sword, which I can't do because this character is factions and not prophecies. And that, for some reason, is a prophecies only quest. Prophecy character only quest. I don't know, it's kind of a weird decision. Okay. What do you got for me, teleporter? I appreciated that there was at least a couple of these that still worked in Guild Wars 2. But the movement mechanics of that game, especially since you get mounts in Path of Fire, kind of make these teleporters less significantly impactful on your gameplay experience. It's like, oh, this teleporter takes you across the gap. Also, so does your sky scale. Although at the time it would have been like Raptor, probably. Maybe Griffin if you were really going for it. But Raptor was the mount for like that, or the bunny that I never use because I have sky scale. Thanks to Secrets of the Obscure. It's okay. They get their Simon Says games in elsewhere. I think that down is that down that way that there's a statue of Glint? There's one around here somewhere. Not that I'm looking for it. Yeah, up there. Raptor, Springer, Griffin, Water. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But for some reason I'm blanking on the name of the... I don't know, it's just number pad 3 is what I have it mapped to. For mounting it. The skimmer? I think it's just called the skimmer, isn't it? But there's also the skiff. Which is the boat. So you can boat across the water if you want to instead. Which, like... feels a lot clunkier than skimmering, quite frankly. But it has the advantage that you can hop on your boat and then anchor it and then hop on your sky scale and go flying off somewhere from the middle of the water. So, you know, you've got that advantage going for you with it. Also, if you... Yeah, I found I liked using the skiff a lot more once I got a skin for it that I actually liked instead of just the default one. That also, aesthetics matter, and the default one is a lot less appealing than some of the ones that, you know, you have to give Arena money for. Apparently the skimmer is getting upgrades in the next expansion pack, so I'll be curious to know what those entail. I kind of hope it doesn't completely obviate the boat. I don't know. Yeah, I've never really gotten the whole maid outfit thing. It's clearly a very popular aesthetic trope, and it's one that does not resonate with me at all. Hey, Terza. Speaking of agony and mend condition. Don't I already have... I have mend ailment. Ah, but I don't have mend condition. Okay, well, that's definitely going to be good to pick up. Probably didn't get it because I knew I'd be getting it here. It's also why they're able to sell a bunch of swimsuits, I'm sure. And then they're like, finally selling another swimsuit. A slightly different style one. I find it kind of funny that they took so long to make a swimsuit, and then once they finally did, is like, oh, I guess we're just going to make another one now because that first one did super well. All right. They finally convinced some exec to allow it. Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea what the process was behind that. Like, why did it take them, you know, a dozen years to finally do a swimsuit, and then, like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And, like, they even priced it, as I recall, higher than, like, I feel like a normal outfit might be. Maybe not necessarily an outfit collection, though. Like, a bunch of pieces, but whatever. You know what I wish? I wish we could salvage armor skins for transmutation charges. Yeah, it definitely felt like it was a little pricey. Because I feel bad, like, you know, I've been trying to catch up on the Wizard Vault weapon skins because I didn't get all of them when they were first coming out. So I've been like trying to catch up on that, and it's like, you know, I just like got 6 skins with that, and I'm not planning on applying to them anything right now. And it'd be nice if I could just salvage them instead of deleting them. Transmutation charges, but anyway, it's not like transmutation. I don't know why anyone would purchase transmutation charges because they give them out so readily. You really, really have to be changing skins a ton to burn through the transmutation charges that you can get from stuff. I mean, that could just be my play experience, but I think I have like over 200 of them. Somebody else was saying that they wish that there was additional values for transmutation charges. Yeah. It would be nice if you could somehow use them to buy skins as well. I don't know what that would look like. Or turn them into, like, Black Lion claim ticket scraps or something somehow. It'd probably be a pretty atrocious ratio, but it'd be kind of neat if you could do that. Yeah, there's a statue of Glint that I was talking about earlier. There's a random statue of Glint down there. Guess different characters do have different max HPs pretty substantially, huh? What are you doing, Koss? Oh, he's probably running from Dust Trap. Thank you. I will turn that ring in later. Okay. Teleporters. Whee! So let me get these Stormkin out of here. I guess that's my job. Isn't it? Let's see. Is zone transition like there or something? You know what? I think it's up those stairs. Or around this corner. Yeah, up these stairs. Wait, no, that's just where the guy is, isn't it? This isn't... You know spamming us with Contra Phantasm isn't that threatening, right? Yeah. There's that guy. I need to go talk to him. Milani, please. Well, that was bad timing on my part. It feels really bad to word of healing somebody right after they get a little bit of a heal from somebody else to tick them over the 50%. Well, not really bad, but it just feels a little bit like, that timing wasn't great. Okay, what is this guy's name? Senate Sen. I will take your thing. I don't really need any of these things that you can craft for me, though. I might need vials of ink, actually. I'm not sure. But there are other places I can get those that are better. Can somebody explain to me what Gwen is doing all the way over there? Besides dying? Well, I just saw Chillblains go off, so that enchantment didn't last. I have my own on me. Here, Koss. Have that. How did you even get over there? Why? Well, I guess I want that teleporter, probably. Okay, down the hill. Over to this random teleporter. I feel like I'm taking a really weird path. I'm just hoping it actually goes where I want to. Yeah, in Guild Wars 2, this is just a hop over the edge of the cliff. Okay. It's like the mirror of another recent pattern. See, this is something that takes time, but like it's because you can be under pressure, right? So it works. I was talking about this earlier about like how long it takes to craft stuff in Guild Wars 2, and you're just like sitting there watching a bar go up, and it is the boringest non-gameplay. But like that works, where you know you're playing a mini game, Simon Says, and you're under pressure, or you can be under pressure while you're doing it and getting body blocked by enemies and stuff. So like there's some actual gameplay there, right? Okay. Let's just not have this Rockshot Devourer attacking our backs, please. Thank you. I love these little sparkly pools, by the way, that you see in Salt Flats in this map. I think they're really neat. I'm going to ignore those guys and wander over to Diviner's Ascent. Okay. Bones. Lots of bones. How do I feel like I normally get in here? It's a slightly different way. I don't know. I feel like I do, though. It's okay. It doesn't really matter either way. I was just thinking this is the Tangled Depths. The Crystal Desert is the Tangled Depths of Guild Wars 1. And what I mean by that is they've taught you to follow primary quests, And now primary quests no longer work to get you where you need to go, because there aren't any. So you just kind of have to wander the desert. And likewise, Tangled Depths, like Guild Wars 2 teaches you to follow your minimap to navigate, and Tangled Depths, that does not work. You will get lost. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is. Well, and the thing is, too, like, part of it is, like, if you talk to NPCs, you get the option from the priest at Augury Rock to go closer to the rock or whatever. I forget exactly what the option is, but you can basically go into the Augury Rock mission area without hitting its traditional intermission thing, and you can go talk to the NPCs there and get some directions on where to go, as I recall, which is actually really neat. But like, that's not how the game has worked at all up to that point. So if you've just been coasting along interacting with quests, then you're going to get lost. Like, the game has not taught you to engage with it that way, and then it's asking you to engage with it in a different sort of way, and then you don't know what to do because it's not what's been asking you to do. This is a really neat looking ring. I open up my inventory, I'm like, what is this? Oh yeah, that's right, the quest ring. Jumping out at me. I'll take that. Shriveled eye dust. Eye dust sounds really weird. Okay. I think that bone staff probably contains bone. I'm not looking for more bone right now. Wait, that I already identified that. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. The 16% enchanting staff wrapping is interesting. I'm going to sell that for 142 gold, I think. Okay, there's a random devourer boss over there, but there's also Ilona Reach over here. So I'm going there. Had just enough charge. Seconds of charge left to kind of get through there. Okay. I think that completes my desert tour. I did Thirsty, which I'm happy about. Yeah, I'm just going to merchant this stuff off. Victor! Thank you. Actually, while I'm here and have the funds, I'm going to buy another expert salvage kit. It's important for getting those rare crafting materials, you know? Yeah, it's... Transmutation charges are not hard to come by. Thank you. Unlocked Signet of Agony, aka a skill that I'm not super likely to use. And Mend Condition, which is a skill that I am much, much more likely to use. Although I already had that unlocked, so... I've unlocked a few skills today, though. Mostly Necromancer ones. Alright, yep, we got the 3 towns. Don't know which one of these I want to do first, but I'm not going to do them tonight. I think I'm going to wrap up here. It's been about... it's been a little over 2 hours. That's not bad. So, I'll be back at some point to do more streaming. Continue to get this character towards rocks. But until then, I do want to thank you all very much for watching, for dropping by. Thank you for the raid again, Paint2D. And until next time, everyone, take care. Goodbye.